I know this may sound stupid, but can you actually play games with others who don't play video games? You might have a friend that is really trying to connect with you, or you're having a significant other who wants to share the same interests with you with your love for gaming. Or maybe you're playing a game and that person is not simply getting it, despite how many times you tell them what the trigger is, and you want to basically have them press that button when it's not registering with them. Hi, I'm Jer, one half of the JenJerGaming duo, and today I'm going to be talking about how you can play games with others who don't know how to play video games, and how we should basically approach it without it being so overwhelming for the both of you. Also, you know it's okay to hit that like and subscribe button down below as we're trying to reach to 1K. Thank you so much for all the love and support, and really does mean a lot. Quick disclaimer, some topics we will be touching will regard mental health early on, so please talk to your therapist, as my videos are a way for me to really vent and pose discussion for our community. And stick to the end of the video because there are some really important solutions we can do to help others play if they'd like to. Also, this video was heavily inspired by Rasputin, as he actually has a wife who doesn't play video games at all. This video is my personal observation, how I feel about the situation, and some subtle things you can do to make gaming comfortable with the people that you love. With that being said, let's get right into it. Now, I'm sure most of you know by now that Jen and I play video games overall. We've bonded through gaming and we played a lot of games personally and together. But maybe you have a partner who doesn't like playing video games, or maybe unplug your video game console. For not spending time with them, or just not wanting to be involved in your gaming lifestyle. I know this because I have multiple friends that have gone through the same situation. But if it really gets toxic, like if they seriously do not want you to play for no apparent reason, or you don't have that many responsibilities at the current moment, then why are you still with them? I feel like these are toxic relationships, and these are more complex situations that can be discussed further on. But if your partner does not support what you're doing as a simple pastime, then why continue to let it bleed? I get it. If you're playing games 3 to 4 hours and you have other responsibilities that you have to do, then it's completely legitimate. Or if you're playing 12 hours non-stop a day, then we need to stop, or at least take a little bit of a break. Also, if you're spending money on a load on gacha games and you have credit card debt along with a mortgage or rent that you have to pay and you're not paying for it, then we really need to have a talk. There are boundaries that we need to understand, and if you make responsible decisions on gaming and integrate it in your life, don't make it a priority, integrate it in your everyday life. I know it could be a healthy way for you and your partner to enjoy games together, even if you don't enjoy gaming as much from your partner's perspective. But remember, don't force your partner to play games or make them feel like crap if they are unaware of how to play the game. There's nothing more degrading than being around your friends and you're just doing your best, and eventually they will stop playing because of how frustrated they are with the game. A simple game like Mario Kart is really not that simple for people like me and Jen, who have been exposed to gaming all our lives, and game controls are somewhat natural in our system. Many of us who play video games have a relatively keen sense of what they need to accomplish when they need to do something in the game. Whether you're looking at a mini-map or you're looking at a journal for the next activity, once you see the key or button on screen, you remember it relatively quickly. But for a lot of people who don't play video games, it's very hard to reference, and the brain doesn't register the button they just saw on the screen. One of the most frustrating things for me is when I have to teach my parents how to use a computer or a phone. They have to write notes down, but to many who use it, it comes so natural to us because we can remember it within seconds. This goes the same for gaming. Not everyone is going to remember the 8 button because the brain is not accustomed to that, because most of the time when we play, we think of it as continuing conversation or to pick something up on the ground. This is even harder for people who have to play on the PC, because when they have to be natural with the keyboard, they have to move their fingers to the left and use the WASD buttons to move forward, back, left, or right. To so many people, this is a foreign language. The mouse is also another language. I've had a friend who actually used spacebar to think that that was the shoot button instead of using the left mouse pad. I've also seen people who don't use the mouse and have only used the keyboard to go WASD to move their characters. This goes the same for controllers. Rarely do people tell you to use both triggers, one to move the screen and one to move your character. So now let's get into it with your friends. And this can be very similar to your partner, but with more people in your life. If you have friends who don't play games at all, it can be very difficult to really get into, especially if it's a big group of friends. You're just trying to hang out, and it's not like you can focus on your partner and really put attention to the details. You have to limited time to play with just maybe a few hours after dinner together, and that's it. You can't be like, hey, down to play some Valorant or Diablo tonight. There's a bunch of tutorials on YouTube, so you know what, it's super easy. You know, you can just pick it up, and not really the best thing to play as a group game. But if you're getting into a group setting, one of the best games to really start out with is Jackbox party games, because it really requires your phone and answering questions on the screen. There's no lives, controls, or anything. It really is simply drawing, asking questions, and just plain simple old fun. The best thing you can do is really make it easy for them. Eventually, what you can do is gradually play games like Gang Beasts, where controls are not known to anyone, and you can just grab and throw your friends off roof or fires. I also suggest Mario Party because it's a great game that goes through the controls so everyone is able to process how each game and the whole board works. Again, make it simple. I wouldn't even go as far as Mario Kart or Overcooked because these games require a lot in hand and eye coordination unless you had friends who are familiar with controls of any type of game. Your friends probably have short attention spans and don't really want to read directions and just simply want to play. Eventually, you never know. Maybe you can suggest games later on like Fortnite or Valorant that are a lot more complex, but having great multiplayer couch games is a great gateway to get people really excited about games. Most people are just trying to have fun, and that's really the best part about gaming. So maybe you found a partner or an individual who is open to playing video games with you. What are some easy games that they can really get into? I would honestly not start with giving them suggestions. I would like to simply ask them, what type of games would you actually like to play, or what would you like to play together? The genre aspect can give them ideas of what they can do in real life that is relative to the game. Maybe you both enjoy cooking, so Overcooked and Plate Up would be a great start. Or maybe you have a love for gardening, and a nice calm game like Stardew Valley would be a great fit. Also, it might be good to try out these games as they're usually on sale or a good retail price. Especially in a time where the economy is striving to survive, it might not be worth justifying paying $60, $70 for AAA games. Here are a few introductory games that I feel that can be very relatable to everyday life. Stardew Valley, if you love to plant, build your home, and do minor explorations. Animal Crossing, if you're really into building a community and dreams to move into an island. Skyrim, if you love to hike, travel, or even watch Game of Thrones. Overcooked, Plate Up, if you love cooking, eating, and just wanting to even own a restaurant someday. It Takes Two, amazing story, working together and solving puzzles. Minecraft, if you want to build something together and be very creative. As I've mentioned before about how to play games with a controller or not knowing how to observe the overall screen, the key thing is to really break it down into pieces. Not a lot of people register these types of things, and that's because it doesn't come natural to them. Ensure you let them know step by step and that it's actually okay to make mistakes during the game. Even if it's their first time or they are only a few days into it, just make sure to make them feel comfortable and that they're there for you. Obviously, they shouldn't ask you every single question because part of the game or in anything in life is to figure out things for yourself. And that's what makes games and life so fun, because when you finish an objective or something difficult, you feel like you accomplished something big, and that gives you validation to keep moving forward to whatever you're doing. Remember that gaming should be just fun overall. I know it can be very overwhelming with your partner, your friends, or group, but just be patient and always remember that gaming isn't for everyone. Encourage them to play, but don't force them into it. It's not just as simple as many people may think. I hope this video gave you some sort of clarity, or maybe you feel the same way with others who don't play video games. Comment down below on how you feel about all this. Also, if you like games in general, I have a couple of videos regarding open world games and why video games just don't feel as fun anymore. With that being said, my name is Jer, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night. Bye-bye, y'all.